Hello everyone, I am Overhaul and today I'm making a chapter breakdown on Twice from My Hero Academia. Now the first opinion on Twice when we first read or saw him, I saw him because I was watching anime. I later started reading the manga. Like I believe it was at the end of Pro Hero arc that I started following it, but that's not important. Then, so yeah. The first idea was basically he's that pool from My Hero Academia universe, which is, to be fair, correct. But there are big changes. Alright, let's not discuss the fact how he kinda looks like a combination of Deadpool and Spider-Man. Man, doesn't really matter. Duh. But yeah, let's discuss his backstory first because, I'm totally honest, backstories in My Academia for villains, in fact backstories in general, are not something we get to see very often. Like we see them, but it's not like it really matters. How most of that, how in the overhaul arc we just got backstories for a couple of the 8 precepts, and some of those backstories were like, alright. But with Twice we actually get a backstory that really feels something. So what is his backstory, you might ask? Well, Twice's backstory is this. His quirk allows him to, make copies of himself. Or clones, or whatever you want to call it. Just, he can make more of him. I don't remember his name of the quirk, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, he makes copies of him, and as you can imagine, if anyone had that power of making copies of himself, you would obviously make copies of yourself and, have someone to work and have them work for you. Like cleaning, cooking, basically all the things you need to do and you're just too lazy to do. So yeah, he made copies of himself. A lot of them. Then one day the copies revolt. Because to be fair, the difference between him and the copies is stamina, and if you have an army of copies, they'll look exactly the same, and there's practically no difference except for stamina, and they are obviously going to go compete one against another because, they gotta run out of stamina and they become dirt or mud, whatever they come. When they get destroyed, they become dirt mud. So one day they revolt and they hold him hostage or something. Like they tie him to a chair, and after having a knife go through his forehead, as you can see in my drawing. It's a bit hard to see, but yeah, his forehead has a big scar from the knife they went through it. So yeah, and after that occasion, Twice, besides not being able to make duplicates of himself, which is something he's sad to overhaul when he was explaining his quirk, he said that for personal reasons, I cannot make the copies of himself. We don't exactly know what will happen, if that's ever going to come into play later, but let's just say he doesn't do copies for himself. So after that occasion, when be hostage by his copies and all that, let's just say he has left very crazy. And alright, I don't exactly know the time we are setting with Twice, Twice because he seemed to be more or less looking the same when we saw the flashback and him right now. So it's possible it's possible it's only a couple of days, but considering how quickly they found out who was there, and to be fair, I don't exactly think any of them really had any clue. However, you think they know which one had the quirk. I mean, for God's sake, there's Toga, there's Toga. So, yeah, let's just say, I don't know if Twice was a villain beforehand, or if he joined the League of Villains later. So, yeah. Now let's discuss his quirk. His quirk is, like I said, copying himself. And he's actually very exactly how he actually says us exactly how his copying quirk works. It's not like something he touches some piece of dirt or something and just throws it into him and acts. He actually needs to take measurements of everyone, very precise measurements, which I can assume is very time consuming, but maybe he did that later. Because he needs something like your exact hat shape, your exact leg shape. Like, he needs very precise measurements, which is on his weapon, because he's one of the few who actually use weapons, has such a meter which he can use to see exact measurements. And after they get defeated, which is by one of stamina, and also he specifies that the difference between the original and his copy is stamina, and if you ever twice another, which I believe only works with him, like he can only make one duplicate at a time, and then his other ones can make another one. The ones, but who cares for that? That is duplicates. He actually can is that every duplicate will have lower and lower stamina, like always half of the original. So if you ever would say, why doesn't the League of Villains ever just have Twice make an army of them, like Darby is capable of being, the army would be dangerous, so how? Make an army of Rapapas? That's why, because the stamina difference will be so flippin' high that it would not even be worth it. Also, I forgot to mention that Twice is, from that occasion, is actually unable to know if he is the original one and only if he's the copy. No, I would actually believe if Twice would die, the real one, that he would, all the copies would die as well, because I don't exactly understand how his quirk would remain. I mean, yeah, we have quirks like Minata's, but it's kind of a different type, because Minata is just a piece of that can be used for other people, while Twice is a person. They can make a copy of a person. But yeah. Now when these copies get defeated or take enough damage, which, to be fair, I'm telling us, it feels a bit strange how some of them work. Like Darby, when he made a copy of Darby in the first training camp arc, Aizawa broke both of his arms, and I also believe he was also going to break his spine, or at least this part of him, and then he became more to whatever. When he made a copy of Rapapa, not Kando, Rapapa, I don't believe he does have a K. No, Rapapa. Papa. The Mr. Knight, I believe the name was, the character who appears in the next season. Don't worry, you're probably aware. The one with green hair, white suit, and glasses. He only do the leg swipe on Rappaport, so he'll fall, and then he kicked him into the wall, and then he fold one chest piece, which is supposed to be stronger than the regular ones. And that's what turned Rappaport into a mush, which is strange, because I would assume that would take down Dobby's copy, but Rappaport is a lot stronger physically than Dobby's, so what the fuck? And for Mr. Kapaska, I believe he got crushed by a mountain of stones. So yeah, for right now, we know he can make a copy of Dobby, Rappaport, and Kapaska. I would also imagine that he can make copies of, and we also know he can make a copy of himself, but it's going without saying. So I can also imagine that he can make a copy of Toga, Tomura, Spinner, maybe Magni. It's not exactly clear. Then Kuragiri, I can also imagine. Giran can also have one. And we know he cannot have All For One a copy because he never came in contact with All For One. So yeah, that's the plot hole in some of those. Ujiko is All For One, or people that theorize about that because the Twice never got in contact with All For One. So yeah, that is more or less how his quirk is. We don't exactly know if he can just make them come off the bloom or if he actually needs to take something to make that. Like, we only know when they get disintegrated, they become mush. So yeah, who really knows how? Maybe he can just come off his arm or something. We don't exactly know. So yeah. Now let's talk about what he did in the series. Now in the series he did very little. Like, first time we see him is in the 4th training camp arc, in which he just made a clone of Dobby to stand against the Pro Heroes. I believe he copied him twice. How funny. His first time he fought was making a copy of Dobby twice, and his name is Twice. But yeah. Then he had a little fight, or a little brief encounter with Shoto, which we see that he's very agile, and this meter he has can actually cut through solid ice. And I can also imagine that Shoto's ice is stronger than the regular ice, so he's very capable. Then he just goes there. Then in the hideout radar, he does practically nothing. Like, he is captured, then he tries to, and we get his name reveal, and then he tries to capture Bakugo, but it's practically nothing. I also believe he gets knocked out by Gran Torino, in fact, but that's pretty much everyone except Tomo and Togo got knocked out by Gran Torino. So yeah. Then the next time we see him is where we find out his backstory, and we also see how he is suffering from his traumatic experience, because first thing we see him is to act pretty much like a regular guy, like how you expect, but then he started, when Giran started talking to him about, can you get a cut? Do you know where Dobby is or something? He was like, He's starting to lose that, like seriously losing that. Like, he had another voice coming from his hat, which I believe Koshi wanted to confirm this immediately. That yeah, he is actually hearing two voices. Says, well, he's hearing another voice in his hat. It's not just he sometimes speaks this way and the other time he just speaks differently way. Now, for majority, also the whole voice speaking is like contradicting, which I'm gonna go into the overhaul arc. But yeah, he's like starting to lose it completely until he puts the mask on, which the reason why he wears such a skin type outfit because this picture may not show it too well, but it's extremely skin tight, is because he feels like he's going to fall apart and split in two. But yeah, so yeah, he goes there and he sees some other villains. I think the villains team was reserve dogs, pretty much just the everyday nuisance. Like, you know those villains in super cartoons where they just have the main hero like wake up in the morning and take down easily? Basically those type of villains. And after he sees them, he sees Overhaul. And his reason was that we need to find crazy people that can join. Because he thinks everyone is crazy in one way, so it doesn't really matter. So he first his counter-attacking thoughts are like, should I get this guy who can clearly do a lot and he only has a couple people working for him, or should I not? But yeah, he decides to go for Overhaul. I don't believe we actually see how this conversation went. In fact, I'm pretty sure we don't see it. I mean, how in the anime it was just twice sees them and then he's taking Overhaul to the temperamental hideout. So twice has little conversations and he shows him to Overhaul to Tomoa. And Tomoa is and Overhaul is basically chastising them all, and Tomoa tells twice, next time make sure the people are actually gonna join, not just acting the way they are. And let's just say all the things that happen later to the League of Villains, like Magnet dying, one of their bases being found out, Compasca losing his arm, is all Twice's fault. And Tomoa doesn't actually punish him much, he just says, you will need to make up for this failure. And then later in the Overhaul arc, it's revealed that Twice and Toga are actually working for Overhaul. Well, not really, but Tomoa went to Overhaul and he said, you can have Twice and Toga for now, for the plan you're having. Now, when Tomoa comes and tells them about the plan, Twice is like, are you going crazy, leader? I mean, they killed Magnet. He destroyed arm. This all was my fault. And he like takes his mask off and says, I'm human too. I don't exactly know why that was a problem. I mean, it's like he has a appearance like Spinner or something, but for the most part, yeah. I mean, it was showing the face because he cannot handle being without the mask for too long. So yeah, and the way he sees Tomoa's face, which is completely calm, he's like even if here's where you ready to give Kurokoshi his props and drawing. I mean, we see only we have limited amount of seeing what kind of expression Twice has because we can only tell by how he moves his eyes, but we can tell that Twice like, what? When he sees the face that Tomoa has. Because for Toga it's a bit easy, but for Twice it's hard. But yeah. At that time, he copies Robber and gets easily beaten by Sanai, in which Sanai sets one of his chest pieces, which are stronger, that cuts the mask and Twice is basically going insane. And he starts right away, until he just crumbles on the floor. Then Toga appears and she has that big moment. She's like, even though you want to fix your mistake because you feel the most guilty, which to be fair he is. And also, let's talk about a little bit thing about Toga and Twice. Like, Toga is practically supposed to be in high school or middle school. I think she's actually a bit older than Mustard. I think I don't exactly know how Japanese people are supposed to go with their schools, but she's like definitely below. I think she's either 16. No, I think she's either 15 or 14, like around 16, 15, 14. And Twice has moments when he's like, oh, are you gonna marry me, Toga? And Twice is like a grown ass adult. Like, wow, that's disturbing. Like, I'm not even joking. When they had their little side story with the League of Legends, what they're doing with Toga, in which it's like, writing a love letter to Stain, or I'm just a schoolgirl. It's like, oh, looks so much cuter, Toga. And he's like, I'm gonna take your blood. And he's like, oh, please do. So, yeah, it's a bit disturbing with these two. But yeah, after that, Twice and Toga basically have their moment where they're like, we don't really have, you know what, we want to see Pokeos and the Yakuza get defeated, so let's see what can we do to defeat both of them. And Toga and Twice are like, we don't really pack much power for our own, but that doesn't mean we don't have a way to get them to work for us, to defeat one another. So they basically insult the Yakuza, and that plan where they're like, they betray one of the higher members of the Yakuza, and they're like, bye. Sorry, we leave, and they go. When they're crawling away and wondering what to do, and Toga obsessing with, oh, Izuku bloody, and oh, I wanna have overhaul scream for his mommy, I believe she uses it. Twice actually has a line in which he says, I have no plan, so let me hear. Which means the League of Legends are aware how he speaks. Like, they are going to be confused when he says, I do not want to kill them. So, which one do you want me to kill? So yeah, they understand the way he speaks. Also, when they explain the quirks to the overhaul arc, we see him like first saying, no, I will not reveal my goddamn quirk to you guys. I will not follow you. Alright, let me explain how my quirk works. And then he has, at the end, explained that he also has this little scene where he's like, what? This isn't like me. Oh, this isn't like you. So yeah. It's basically like, first thing he says is basically, I don't exactly know how it goes, if the first thing he says he actually has what he actually means, and the second thing is just there for his twin personality, or if it's other way around. It's probably the second thing, because I can see I'm just acting the way he does act at the beginning, and yeah, it's still a bit confusing. So his plan is basically to make Compaska to go get a cure child, and have the heroes and the villains upstairs come down and to basically crush one amongst each other. But that plan doesn't work. But he has a second plan in which he's like, which I believe they grab the not completed ones yet, or maybe they haven't. We know Toma grabbed both the non-permanent and the non-permanent bullets, and Toga says the plan about us find out where they're sending Overhaul to get the ultimate revenge for her, for Magni and all he has done. That was all Twice's plan, so he redeemed himself. And the final scene with him is basically him about his costume, like not trying to focus, stay calm, and when Toga just dragging him like how a mother would drag her child, because she knows that Twice is not capable of doing anything else for right now when he's not in his mask. So yeah, it's a bit weird with Twice and Toga's relationship. But yeah. No, so what can I say? What do I personally think about Twice? I like him. He's entertaining. I do want to see more of him. Plus, I do want to see his fighting style, because he himself admitted that he's not really powerful enough It's mostly his quirk that he needs to be from other powerful people that he needs to use. But we've seen him at least being somewhat competent. So I'm wondering how he went. Like, would he be like on the same level as Ojiro, where Ojiro needs to use martial arts and Twice can also has some form of martial arts, and he also has that extra sharp piece of meter. Like, I'm really curious. And I also want to know how he makes the copies. So yeah, I really want to see more of him. And if my theory about the next arc leading into more of a villains arc, or there being a villains arc pretty soon, sign me up, because I really want to see more of him. So anyways, I hope you like this video. I hope you're gonna leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. If that's it, I cannot wait to see all of you people next time. Bye.